Intro. Today, I'm going to be talking about Daniel Larson. If you don't know who Daniel Larson is, it's very important that you watch my first video on this called The Never-Ending Story of Daniel Larson, as it gives a good and full explanation of who he is and what all he has done. I've also made other episodes that you need to watch as well, because those also give context more to who he is and such. This video is a part of a series that I've been doing on Daniel, where I do weekly recaps of what he's been up to and what all he's doing in that week. There's also a playlist on my channel that has all the episodes, so you don't have to go far to find them. But with all that said, enjoy. Ivan, also known as Oxis, or Daniel's manager, hacked Daniel Larson. Daniel's YouTube and TikTok got hacked and took over by his manager Ivan, who is also known as Oxis. I'm pretty sure he had the logins to these anyway, but it was more of a takeover where he got into these accounts and locked Daniel out of them. Ivan leaves a message on the YouTube community tab saying this: "This is Ox. I do plan on giving the accounts and the emails back to Daniel and logging out indefinitely. But during this time with me blocked, he has to be logged out due to the vicious, disgusting, and racist nature of the trolls who are currently pretending to be LBI and Grace. Daniel is supposed to be seeking help out here in California, as he does not actually intend to go back to Denver, as far as I know. I was sent some resources that I was going to get Dan in connection with shortly before he blocked me. I know where he is and can intervene, but I was advised to let things run their course. For now, I will focus on my own stuff. I was partially blocked because I told him he's speaking with a fake Grace and LBI. And it became an argument because I was not hearing any BS at the time, and also partly because the merch store had decided to put up some stupid stuff as a gag. I do not run the merch, I've never made a post on the site, facilitated a transaction, or even checked the orders. I only ever sent the money sent to me to Dan. Daniel will not be getting this account back until he's done messing around with whatever LBI or Grace he is speaking with. They would have surely got his account banned. Daniel can unblock my number and reach out when he wants. From experience, I can tell you they have him making private content for them on the Danny JERUV or whatever that account is called on TikTok. They made his new YouTube as well. You can expect the usual, some sexual content and some racist stuff. I know they're speaking on the phone with him extensively. Also, I hope the text now minutes don't bust your mom's credit card. I don't really know what he's talking about with the mom's credit card comment, but from what it sounds like, he started speaking to some people, and basically they're now kind of his managers and such, and they might possibly be making him say stuff on a certain TikTok account that is private. If you don't know, Daniel and Ivan are on bad terms for possibly the reasons talked here below. One of the big reasons Daniel might have fired Ivan was because of the merch store, which he talked about, where there was a drawing of Daniel that made him look gross, and also it said certain words I'm not going to say. He says whenever he finds this out that Ivan and this other person, I guess it was the person that was running the website, are fired. Before the whole merch website situation, Daniel has been saying things about Ivan, calling him a liar and such, so it was rocky even before this. Also, Ivan's plan didn't really work to basically keep Daniel locked out of his social media accounts, as the people, as he talked about before, made a new YouTube and TikTok with him, which he's currently posting on. Ivan said that he won't give the account back till Daniel is done talking to the fake Grace and LBI, which will never happen. Also, Ivan talks about the accounts possibly getting banned. One way or another, Daniel's accounts were going to get banned, as he already should be banned, as he is ban evading and has made multiple threats on YouTube, as well as some other bad things that are not allowed on YouTube, so it's just bound to happen for him to get banned. Also, from what it sounds like, Ivan was trying to get Daniel help in California. Daniel says Ivan wasn't helping him, but we'll never know. He said this on a YouTube short or something like that. He was like, "Oh, Ivan's a liar. Ivan's supposed to be helping me, but he isn't." We'll never really know the true side of the story. From what it sounds like, Daniel's going to be staying in California for good, and Ivan is going to be offline for a while. And Daniel has cut contact with him completely. One thing I want to add here is that Daniel did respond to that YouTube community tab post, and it basically was just saying like, I agree with all this information given or something like that. Someone on Reddit also talked about their time being a manager for Daniel. The story sounds right, but I don't know if it's true or not, but I will read it out here. Before I start, the person says that they were before Ivan, and once Ivan came along, he took him out of his grasp. And this person also acted like Grace, and Daniel immediately started sexting this person as soon as they said that they were Grace. So, with all that said, let's go ahead and read this. What it is like being a quote-quote manager for Daniel. In quotation marks, AMA, which I'm guessing is the person's name, Ama. I was a manager for Daniel during the peak of his homelessness, around the marathon. I regret a lot of the things I did, but at the same time I lost a lot of respect for Daniel. Being a quote-quote manager for Daniel is a full-time job. He constantly texts you, and if you don't respond, he'll get angry and call you and threaten to hit and or kill himself. I work full-time, and my life was literally just work and texting/calling Daniel. He is a very mentally and exhausting person. He really doesn't have empathy for anything or anyone. There were times texting him as Grace, saying that I was broke and couldn't give him money, and he would flip out and hit himself until he got money somehow. His flip outs happen most days. He acts like a child, and any minor inconvenience happens, he will throw a legitimate fit till he gets what he wants. He is also crazy manipulative with how he acts. When he claimed that he was walking to New York to see Grace, that was just him being scared of being in Denver and walking to Colorado Springs, but using that to try to guilt trip me, Grace, into giving him money and other things. Now I'll get into the sex stuff. Honestly, Daniel is one of the most grossest people when it comes to sex. He personally talked about fetishes including pee, poop, body odor, pedophilia/age play, some very light bisexuality. I think that stems from him just being super horny and trying to be progressive. And the one that made me the most sick was the incest, which he only mentioned a few times, but it was always him saying that he would wait for his daughter to get older and he would use a condom, which I don't know why he thinks that makes it better. But I can't think of much more right now, but if you want, you can ask me any questions about Daniel or just any sort of question about being in a management. In the comments of this, he goes on to say that one of the reasons that Daniel doesn't shower is because he doesn't like the feeling of being wet, and he also doesn't take his medicines. And besides the stuff I said before, that's basically about all I could find. He also talks about how he 100% knows what he's doing is wrong, but does it anyway. Honestly, I don't know what to say, as it's kind of expected behavior from Daniel, and how any manager would feel. Honestly, no wonder Ivan is logging off.
Okay, today I exposed Ivan for the website saying a bunch of inappropriate stuff like cum slut and all this inappropriate information, words, whatever it said on the website. I never told Ivan that he could post that, so he was false advertising. When I fired Ivan, he locked me out of all of my social media accounts. So, Ivan, that is for you. Go fuck a 5-year-old.
Daniel admitting more. Daniel uploads a YouTube short apologizing for sexualizing children, as well as apologizing for hitting Bob, and he says that Bob forgives him, which I don't think is true, but we'll never know. There's also this TikTok that is surfaced of him glancing at the back of a little girl while he was doing a TikTok with her when he was in housing. Another creepy thing Daniel did was he uploaded a 11-minute video of some teenagers in a Starbucks he was in, and you can guess pretty easily why he did this. He said he recorded them because they mobbed him, but in the whole 11-minute video, none of them walked, talked, or even looked at Daniel. It's clear that he wanted the footage of them for later to do his dirty work. This is actually kind of a repeated behavior, as I've seen videos of this before, where Daniel was literally talking to the camera about something, and then before he stopped the recording, he turned it around, not saying a word, and recorded a girl's backside. I think a video of this is actually shown in a previous episode of mine, and I don't think I brought it up at all, but I did definitely notice that behavior, and it was very weird and creepy. Daniel Larson is coming after me. Daniel makes a TikTok basically saying that he wants to take legal action against someone using him for fame.
Is there a law for like if somebody is like being used for like posting videos and fame?
I'm joking when he says he's coming after me, of course, but there is also a slight possibility of him saying that. He hasn't mentioned me yet in a video, and I'm just waiting for that day to happen, as I thought he was going to respond because he commented on the first video on this, the never-ending story of Daniel Larson. He commented a few times on that video actually, but hasn't commented on a video since. I don't know if that's good or bad, but I hope that Daniel actually says something about me, because I think it'd be very interesting, and I would always love that video to be on my computer. The police are after Daniel. On the last episode, we talked about how Daniel was going to get the cops called on him anywhere he went in LA due to some people spreading the message about him at stores and restaurants. They gave people a picture of him and basically said, I guess basically just said some stuff that he's done. If you are the person that did this, please message me on Discord or try to get into contact with me somehow, because I would like to talk to you. Supposedly someone in the comment section of the last video said that they knew the person and could possibly get me in contact with them, but from my notifications I haven't gotten a response from that person yet. But if you are the person that has been sending this message around, please contact me and I would love to interview you. Maybe even a call, which I wouldn't really do often. But to go on, recently he actually got a trespass notice. I don't know the full context of this, and I don't think anyone really does, but Daniel said he was trying to pay with PayPal or something like that. I don't know how that's possible, as it looks like he hasn't gotten anything, and if you're not allowed there, they're probably not going to let you order. There's also the chance of him sitting there, and basically he didn't leave when he was supposed to, or he was already banned from there before. Again, we don't know the full context, but those are some thoughts that I want to bring up. But this will probably be the first of many trespassing notices and charges that will probably eventually lead up to a arrested arc. Daniel also said on the YouTube community tab, the LAPD just told me to get a hotel room, or the next time they see me, it's jail. The LAPD just said if they see me walking around at night, they will arrest me for being out after curfew. This is abuse. I don't want to hear abuse when he's gotten away with way too much. The only abuse that was happening was him abusing the people around him, like his mom, his dying grandma, Bob, and his managers mentally. I don't know if what he said was true or not, but if it is, he'll be probably arrested soon. I'm sure Daniel was just trying to sleep or be somewhere he wasn't allowed to late at night. He also made a YouTube community tab post taking selfies saying, I just had the LAPD ask me to leave the public mall bench because of the fact the owner doesn't want me there because of my fame.
Your arrogance makes me want to cry.
Besides the obvious lie that was because of his fame, imagine being the cop, telling him to leave, and he's sitting there taking selfies. I wouldn't be able to take it, to be honest.
That was no message.
As well, he threatened to break a window so the LAPD would take him back to Denver, and he didn't have to pay for the travel costs, which I don't think is allowed to be said on YouTube, and that's not how it works. I feel like he was just trying to stay somewhere overnight. Like, I could imagine that Daniel would end up making, like, some videos on YouTube, and he's just in a mall, a dark, empty mall, and going around and eating the food that was left over, like just like the frozen meat in the freezer, or like going to a Subway and like dipping his hands in the black olives or something. I can imagine that's what Daniel was trying to do here. He was just trying to like stay overnight in a mall or something, and they told him no. Daniel really trying to do the 24 hours in a mall challenge. He's a little behind, but I don't know. I just thought that was really funny to think about, and it's a big possibility too. The Daniel and Ryan incident. Daniel goes on his YouTube community tab to say that he was a victim of R-word. He accuses a person by the name of Ryan, who was supposedly in the disability service like Daniel was. The thing is that Daniel said he's been many times, and in all those times they were just cases where he wasn't, and it was just another lie on his list. One thing that's different about this time is that he says an exact person, and he has a little bit of a story to say. He says a little bit of the story on his YouTube community tab, saying this: At the time, Ryan sexually assaulted me. I was just starting Special Olympics and doing American Idol audition. Ryan got jealous of me because I was happier than him at the time. And he wanted to be a star on Disney Channel, which I sadly said would never happen. One morning I woke up to Ryan in the same bed as me, and everything got worse from there. He goes on to make a TikTok about it. It's a duet of a clip of him and Ryan together. I never talked about him and Ryan because I never knew about this guy, and he doesn't really seem like a significant character. To be honest, from what Daniel has said so far, it doesn't sound like and just another time he has lied about something like this. But he did leave it off a cliffhanger, so I'd definitely like to see Daniel talk about it a bit more. Another thing is that he says that he was just in the same bed as him. This could be for multiple reasons, such as, I don't know, he just fell asleep there, he passed out there, or he was just weird. I mean, disability services, there's going to be some non-normal actions. But if there is anything, I really want Daniel to say it because it's very interesting. Thank you. Thank you all. With all the support I've been getting, I've been finally able to get the channel monetized. This means so much to me, and I don't know how to feel about it. It hasn't sunk in yet. Sometimes it does for just like a minute, but then after that, the feeling immediately goes away. Thank you for the support on the series. I want to make this section just to thank you all. Even you for viewing, because without you, none of this would be possible. People have been saying in the comments like, thank you for making the video, thank you for exposing Daniel. But to be honest, thank you especially. You're the one that's watching and supporting me. Thank you to every subscriber, every person that likes and comments the videos. I cannot wait to keep going on this journey with you, and I'm very excited to see where this takes us. And again, thank you. End. Thank you all for watching. Sorry there wasn't much going on this week, but since you stayed till the end, I'll give you some extras that I couldn't find a place to put in this video. To start with the extras, Daniel might be staying in a parking garage, as he's made a few videos in one, and it seems like he's hanging out the stairs. He was also seen at a strip club, which I will not show the footage of. I don't really know if this was during the time where he talked about wasting $250 at the strip club, where he was hanging out with that one guy or not, but someone found him at the strip club, and it's just uncomfortable. I'm not going to show the footage at all. Don't ask. He also said he would only go into housing if he moved in with someone famous, which I don't know. It's just Daniel. That's the best way I can explain that. Also, when someone asked him about the taser, because if you don't know, we talked about this before about Daniel getting a taser, he replied with one of the most confusing sentences ever written. I struggle so bad to read this sentence. The sentence is so broken. The person asks, "Do you still have your taser, Daniel?" And Daniel says, "You know, I was thinking since it's getting close to the end times, we're in the times of the end, whatever the heck that means. I don't know what the time of the ends mean, the end times, the times of the end. So what I'm thinking on doing, because I'm thinking on if Daniel literally stuttered on text message. I don't know how it's possible. On if we're trying to talk about self-defense here, I'm thinking about downloading a red button, and then all I have to do is push that thing, and then it goes boom. Then it will end. I honestly don't know what he's talking about here, but maybe he has a taser and maybe he doesn't. This was just probably another one of those mindless schizophrenic rambles. I have no idea what he was saying. He didn't admit to it, and he didn't not admit to it. The comment seemed weird and funny, so I wanted to add it in somewhere. But besides that, I have nothing else, and that's okay. Some weeks are going to be slow, and sometimes he's not going to be up to too much, so we're going to have sometimes shorter videos. But thank you all for watching, and thank you all for the support. I hope you all enjoyed the little extras here. I'm going to start adding these extras at the end, and it's just going to be in the end section. If I have some stuff that I want to add into the video but didn't find a good place for it, I will just say them at the end of the video, kind of like how I did now. So I hope y'all enjoy this new little thing I'm doing. If you're still watching this, thank you. Thank you to anyone who actually watches the videos all the way through. And thank you for helping me get monetized. It means a lot. But with all that said, I'm PERK30, and...
In conclusion, is the perfect example of what zero pussy does to a motherfucker.